Hey guys, Alec here, bringing you a new video, and today I want to talk about some of my perfect ideas for casting for some of the characters in the DCEU. So, as we know, the DCEU isn't doing so hot, but they have been coming up with better and better films, with like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and you even got Shazam, and we have a solo movie of Joker coming up, and it really was making me think, what are some perfect casting decisions? And it made me remember some really old ones I thought about and I just think are perfect, and I really want to talk about them with you guys. So let me just dive into talking about these. So for my first character I want to cast is going to be the head of DC itself, Batman. So I know a movie for Batman's coming out called The Batman by Matt Reeves, and there is discussion of Robert Pattinson possibly being Batman. At first I wasn't a big fan of it, obviously. I mean, who wants the sparkly vampire from Twilight as the Caped Crusader in the DC universe? But at the same time, I was thinking about it, and I can get behind it. Like, he's been going for a bunch of these like lesser known films and really been getting really good roles and being super good. And even with a movie called The Lighthouse coming out, where he stars alongside William Dafoe, he's getting a lot of buzz. So it kind of makes me hopeful he gets it. But that movie is also speculated possibly to be in its own universe, kind of like the Joker is going to be. So I want to propose maybe another idea of who I would think is the perfect Batman that really I think deserves it. So, Ryan Gosling. I want him to be Batman so bad. And let me just explain why, alright? He has proved himself time and time again to be able to do some of these cool action sequences with Batman and be able to pull off that Batman feel. Just take a look at movies like Drive and stuff like that, like Blade Runner 2049, and you can just see he can pull off these sequences with these like technological advances, and I think he would be perfect because many of you probably know, but Batman's supposed to be a detective #1 and then vigilante, and Ryan Gosling's perfect for that. Perfect example. Blade Runner 2049. He plays a detective trying to find replicants, and he does a phenomenal job. He has such a gripping performance of performing by actions and not as much by words, which I think is perfect for Batman. I mean, he's literally the very stoic character who has had a tragic past of losing his own parents. So I think it's perfect casting. Put Ryan Gosling in a gym for a few months and bam, you have the perfect Bruce Wayne and Batman right at your fingertips. I do not understand why there hasn't been talks of Ryan Gosling doing it, because he fits that Batman persona so well if you start to think about it. Because truly, he is the whole ideological structure of Batman. I mean, actions over words, can play a detective, which we need to see in a film. But I'm not gonna lie, if Robert Pattinson's our new Batman, I'm not gonna complain. I think both are great choices, just I've been so determined that Ryan Gosling's just superb for this role. But either would be phenomenal choices. For my second character in the DCEU that I would love to recast is the Flash. So, to clarify beforehand, I don't have a major issue with Ezra Miller's performance. Just, I think it's missing a very important part of The Flash, and that is, sure, he can be funny, but he also has this very serious side to him that I feel like hopefully they'll hit with Ezra Miller, but I think it would be even better with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh man. So, it might sound bizarre at first when I say Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the Flash, but when you look at it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt has both these serious acting roles like Inception, but also he has these more lighthearted kind of tones with 10 Things I Hate About You, and also 500 Days of Summer, I believe the title is in full, which he has those both sides that he can do very well as well. And I feel like he just fits that so well with being able to crack those jokes but also handle these serious moments. And I mean, look at the guy. I think he physically looks so well for the Flash. I mean, it's another actor that I'm like, why haven't they tested him for the movie? And also, he does have connections with the DC franchise already because he's been in The Dark Knight Rises. So Warner Bros. Can simply give him a little ring and be like, hey, we're interested in you playing the Flash. And that would be amazing to see, given the not so good long-term reception of the Flash that we got in Justice League. Sorry. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt would bring a very fresh, new breath to this cinematic world they're creating, and also begin some prestige actors into these roles. And I think it would be so much fun to see him. My third casting decision, I wanted to take on the man himself, Constantine. Alright, so we haven't seen a DCEU live version of him. And I was really thinking about who would be perfect for this role. And after just sitting on it for a while and hearing other people's voices in casting decisions, I overheard Armie Hammer's name being thrown around for Batman. But once I started thinking, I was like, I feel like he would fit Constantine so much more. And it only cemented it more once I saw Sorry to Bother You, where Armie Hammer is basically just this like druggy like owner or CEO. And I think he would be so well. This like tortured dude's just dealing with these spirits, and I would kill to see him play Constantine. It's been a little while since we've seen him, obviously, and I want to see him come back and be like, what's up, I'm in the DCEU. It would help Warner Brothers out so much to have him, and also it would help his career so much being in this big franchise. And I have faith that they could do it well with Armie Hammer. If they get the correct talent behind this, it would be amazing. It could even top some of the greatest MCU movies and finally rival Marvel. Armie Hammer, just figure like his appearance is identical to Constantine. Blonde hair, pretty decently built, and I just feel like just you shag around that hair a little bit and you have a perfect Constantine that just can totally wreak havoc in the DCEU. It would be so much fun. I would love to see him in this cinematic universe, obviously. I mean, that's why I'm casting him. He is perfect for the role. because he can play those like loopy characters, like as you see in Sorry to Bother You, but also like when he really has to, he can do some like serious moments for fight scenes and stuff, as you can see in things like The Social Network, or even Call Me by Your Name, which, oh, it would be great. It would be really fun to see him participating with Batman and all these other people. So now I want to tackle one more character, since I'm really happy with Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, and even I am happy with Cyborg, and I do have faith for that actor to do a good job with the role. But the last character I want to tackle is Martian Manhunter. We haven't seen him, and I want to see him in the DCEU. I almost said MCU. That would have been a big oopsie on my part. But I want to see him in the DCEU. I mean, I feel like they've hinted that they're going to have Martian Manhunter. I mean, they're going to have Green Lantern, obviously. But I want to see Martian Manhunter possibly before Green Lantern. And here's why. Martian Manhunter has been such an iconic staple to the Justice League. And he is off the wall, kind of like out there character enough, but also mainstream enough that can get such like good reception and possibility, just like Iron Man was in the MCU. I want possibly Andy Serkis to play Martian Manhunter. And here's why. Martian Manhunter, I feel like, is going to have to be a heavily CGI'd character, but with motion capture. And obviously Andy Serkis is probably one of the greatest ones to go to for it, because he's done stuff with Lord of the Rings, he's done stuff with Planet of the Apes, and there's such diverse different roles, and it requires such different demands. And he can tackle Martian Manhunter so well. I think it's a no-brainer. But hopefully when they announce it, they'll be like, yeah, we're going to be doing motion capture for it, and we're getting our man Andy Serkis in here. And even if it's not motion capture, I still want him to be in there, just a live version Andy Serkis. Because even when I saw him in Black Panther, I was like, that's so good for a dude who's just doing motion capture for a really long time. And I just feel like he's perfect for Martian Manhunter. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Look at his whole film credits and everything. I mean, it's perfect either way, motion capture or not. He is, in my mind, a brilliant idea. That's all I wanted to say for my casting ideas that I've been held on to for so long. I'm so happy to be able to share them finally, because I think these are perfect casting decisions. It's just a matter of getting to them and all that. And even since there's an upcoming Flashpoint that's being talked about, I mean, talks about a soft reboot. Bam! There's some ideas for perfect switches in characters. I mean, look at the characters. It's great. It's great, and they would work so well in the DCEU. Sorry, I keep thinking MCU. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm so happy to be able to share that with you guys. I'm curious, do you have any ideal casting decisions for any character in the DC universe? I mean, there's so many you can choose from. And if you do, please, I'm curious to know, because I want the DCEU to succeed. It has so much promise. And I'm curious to see some people's reception to these certain casting decisions. So please, if you enjoyed this, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, all that stereotypical YouTuber stuff. And I want to thank you all for watching this, and I'll see you next week. Or maybe this week, possibly. I'm not 100%. We'll find out. Goodbye, guys. Thank you again.